Hello everybody, the Great Dunranger here again, back with another review. Today we are finally going to start taking a look at the things that I got from that second Target haul. Or the second, pretty much I guess in other words, the second Target haul wave. So this would be like wave 2. Anyways, today we're going to be starting off with the Jurassic World Dominion, Roar Strikers, and Ankylosaurus. Now, yes, this is kind of like a reused sculpt of the Bumpy figure that came out from the Dinoscape Camp Cretaceous line last year. Obviously, the head's different because it's just a random generic Ankylosaurus and not Bumpy. But I had to get another Ankylosaurus because, I'm someone who likes to build my herds. They're good for movies, and they're good for pictures, and they're good just for display purposes. So, the package is nothing too much to go over. We've been going over this package for quite a while now on this channel. Definitely a lot more than how I used to do my videos, let's tell you that. Got the awesome Pyraptor render, and then the Dominion logos. And then on the back, we have what the figure does, and the other three figures. The Rajasaurus and Scorpiovenator, which I've already reviewed. And then the Triceratops, which will be coming up after this review. So, let's take this Ankylosaurus and take a closer look at it. Alright, so here we have the Ankylosaurus out of the package here. And it's a fairly nice Ankylosaurus figure. There really isn't a whole lot to really go over. There isn't anything like super special willing to go over technically. It's just kind of like just another generic Ankylosaurus. But like I said, I like to have my herds. But it's a really nice figure overall. I really like the design of the Ankylosauruses from at least the Jurassic World movies, since they are slightly different than the ones from Jurassic Park 3. But let's start taking a look at the sculpt here. Here on the head, we got some really nice pebble detail, especially on the top of the head here. You got some really large scales or bumps, and you got some nice finer ones around the face. Then you got some nice line sculpted work on the horns. And here on top of the back, it's just like every other Ankylosaurus figure. Let's take a look at the scan code. There it is. I would say that this is definitely a lot better than Bumpy's button that she would have on her back. That's just my opinion. Here, the entire back here is filled with a lot of amazing sculpt work on the spikes and on the actual like armored shell. And then on the bottom, it's a lot more smoother, so a lot more like less sculpted work, but it's nothing like terrible. And then here on the arms and on the legs, you got some more nice line, muscle definition. Just a lot of great detail. So pretty much just like all of the other Ankylosauruses. And then here on the tail, same exact nice sculpting on the underside and on the tail club. So yeah, the tail club is sculpted very nicely. I like the colors. I like this reddish and then the brown on it. It kind of gives me Jurassic Park 3 vibes with that Ankylosaurus, even though that one had like a little bit of red on the face. But anytime I see a red Ankylosaurus, that's what it reminds me of. But yeah, it's a really nice coloration. I like it. Definitely kind of sets it apart from the other ones. But yeah, I think it works very well. And articulation-wise, the head is on a ball joint, so you can make it go up and down, and you can make it rotate. And you can also move it side to side, so or at least a little bit. So you got some really nice range of motion on the head here. And then on the arms, they can pretty much only rotate forwards, and they can both pivot in and out. And then the back legs, they can go back. At least that's how it was in the packaging, but it makes like this weird clicking noise. So I wouldn't really move it all the time just because that's kind of part of the hip action feature. But they do move. And that's basically it for articulation. For the sounds, you just press on the back of the dinosaur and it swings its tail and makes noise. So pretty good noises. I do love how they are the Ankylosaurus noises from the actual movie. Alright, so pretty much good sounds. So now for size comparisons, we're going to start off with a normal human, which we have our trusty Dominion Owen here. And I think they scale very nicely, even though the Ankylosaurus from the actual movies were way bigger than this. But, you know, it is what it is, I guess. Alright, so here is the newest Ankylosaurus compared with all of the other Ankylosauruses released from Mattel, including one from Fallen Kingdom, one from Dino Rivals, Bumpy from the Camp Cretaceous Dinoscape, and then we have our newest one, as well as the baby Bumpy. So it's a very nice variety of Ankylosauruses here, and this is why I love making herds, because you got a whole bunch of variations. And I like them a lot. They all look very nice together. There are some certain differences. Like, you can definitely tell how the newer one is basically a resculpt of the Bumpy version, because they both have the larger heads when compared to the originals. And then you can also see that they sculpted in this one spike right here when Bumpy had the shorter one, the asymmetry side. And then obviously the new one has the only tail curved to the side, whereas the other ones are straight. And even the front legs are on the new one are just positioned in the same pose, whereas the other ones had different positions on both. They had a very nice herd of Ankylosauruses for sure. All right, so that's just about to wrap it up for this review. I really like this Ankylosaurus. I know it's nothing too special, but you know, I like to have a lot of herbivores, and this one is definitely worth it for me. And yeah, it's just a very nice generic Ankylosaurus, and I like it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys again for the next one.